What's up, y'all? It's Kyle, back again with a good old-fashioned talking video, just how grandma used to make them. I haven't put out any content in like 10 days, and that's because I ain't had shit to say and life been lifing. And I tell y'all, like, every time I take more than a week off from uploading, y'all, I see the comments, I see hella love, people talk about, oh, you so smart, you cool, you da-da-da, but understand this. I'm smart because when I go off and do my own thing, I gain new insights, I learn new things, and I come back here with them. It's not the optimal model for creating content, but hey, I'm just being real with y'all. All we could do on this channel is keep it real, keep it vulnerable. Sometimes I'm just living life and I'm just out here and, you know, ain't shit to film really without getting repetitive. I absolutely hate getting repetitive. I hate getting trite. It's one of my pet peeves. I hate when people say the same thing over and over again. And that's why a lot of the time I might have something inspirational, educational to say, but if it's not novel enough to the point where I've talked about it in a very similar way before, and even a lot of my videos, I've probably brought up the similar points all the time. There's probably a whole theme consistently running throughout each of my videos, but hey, I don't really care, okay? I mean, I do care. I don't really care that much when it comes to let's create some new content. It's been a while since I've gone on a video unscripted, unedited, unfiltered, raw. But I kind of miss this energy, you feel me? Let me not get too in my head talking, getting on all these diversions in my brain. Let me get to the point of the video. I want to put across to you all that if you watch this channel and you've been watching my channel, chances are, you know, you're on a constant journey, as everyone should be in life, to improve yourself, to unfold. You know, I'm in a process where I'm realizing, you know, instead of an upward trajectory, I'd rather unfold. Whether you're unfolding, whether you're improving, you're moving in the direction you'd like to go into life, and vice versa. You're trying to move in the direction life would like you to go in, because it is a very symbiotic relationship. And I'm here to tell you that you might be getting in your own way simply by good old-fashioned identity politics. Because you got to think about it like this. The reason why a lot of people are all in self-improvement then fall off is because people tend to create whole new identities around habits they want to have. Now, don't get me wrong. It's important to identify yourself differently as you're trying to change your habits, but there's a very fine line between beginning to identify yourself differently and creating a whole new identity, because the former will lead you to success and the latter is why you keep falling off the wagon. Let me explain. I know y'all done seen the Hamza videos where he starts off, Jeffrey, he's over there making mistakes, he's playing video games, watching porn, and then, you know, you have Adonis, right? That's a very binary way of thinking. It's like, okay, you're either falling short of being a great alpha male or a complete loser. You set yourself up thinking like that, thinking that, okay, you're either trying really hard to get to this ideal that, you know, you'll most likely, and I'm not hating, I'm not discouraged, I'm just saying it's an extreme, and to live a healthy life, you really can't live in extremes. You have to have moderateness, you have to have balance. So you have this extreme of perfect masculinity by someone else's metric most of the time, and then you keep running from being the Jeffrey that you think you are. Now, you might be smoking weed, jerking off, eating Cheetos all day, and you might actually be a Jeffrey. But when you start to assume this new self-improvement journey and assume this new identity and begin to run away from the Jeffrey, that's where you're fucking up. Because if you're running away, because people on self-improvement, 9 times out of 10, the motivation is less to just be there and then become better. It's to get away from being a person that's gotten you into all these depressive mood states, gotten you all this anxiety. So most people's mind state is, okay, I'm running away from the Jeffrey, I'm running away from the loser. But in doing that, you create a tether. Now, whatever you're doing as part of this journey is always gonna be like, it's like a tether ball. The ball is how much progress you're making, but because in your head, you're running away from being a loser. The loser is the pole, so you could pull the ball as far as you want and building so much tension because you just really, I really don't want to go back to being that person. But what happens? Something slips, something triggers, something falls, you lose grip, bam! And the fact that you really could have stretched that journey very far and that work is legitimate. You know, no matter if you thought you were running away from being a Jeff or chasing the whatever you were doing, the work you put in is objectively, you put it in. But because of your mind state, now you're back to feeling like a Jeffrey, feeling like a loser, because you always thought you had to run away from that identity, therefore establishing as something that's at your core. You see how dangerous that is? You see how innocuously telling people, I'm not trying to be a meat-beating fucking loser. Dude, you just set it up that, like, the tether analogy is essential here. Like, if y'all ever played tetherball, or imagine like a ray in geometry, what I'm trying to say is you established an identity within yourself as being this loser, and everything you're doing is trying to run away from that, when you haven't even begun to accept and heal that part of you and use that to give yourself compassion to earnestly move through the stages of self-improvement. You see, if you don't accept yourself first, you're always going to be stuck in that cycle of, oh, okay, I'm getting away from that loser. I'm getting away from, oh, now you're back. Because that's the only, you're demeaning yourself. You're saying, I'm either working out, not busting, not doing this, or I'm a loser. When in reality, we're all constantly a work in progress. Now, getting on this self-improvement journey is akin to finally letting the work mesh with you and let that unfolding happen, right? Finally getting ready to embrace being that work in progress and fully embracing all the work and all the soul fuel that takes. You can't be trying to improve your life, improve yourself, and viewing yourself as either a complete loser that you're trying to get away from, because you're always going to fall short of that ideal. That's why it's an ideal. It's not real. Idealism and realism, not the same thing. You shouldn't be aiming to be an archetype that someone set up. You should be aiming to be real. Accept your real self right now. If you a bitch ass nigga, look yourself in the mirror and say, yo, I am a bitch ass nigga. Because the first step is acceptance. Now that you've accepted that you lame, okay, now you're a lame person who's trying, right? Like, okay, yeah, all right, I'm a lame ass nigga right now, but I'm trying, okay? And the more that you try, and the more that you hold on to that self-acceptance, the more you'll accept the things you actually put effort into. Like, if you're a weak person, you're physically weak, and now at least you tried to move up with the dumbbells, okay, that's worth something. That's worth something to your character, because you knew you were starting off at a disadvantage, but you're trying to move. You earnestly, you accepting the totality of you, not you pretending to be someone else to run away from who you think you are, but it's just accepting who you actually are and moving with that and accepting those shortcomings and saying, despite this, I'm still going to try and rectify whatever's going on. Now you're starting to heal yourself. Now you're starting to really improve. Now self-improvement will work for you. Now going to the gym, it's not going to be, okay, if I don't get this workout finished, then, oh, I'm a bitch ass nigga. Going to the gym is now, all right, I'm learning to actually appreciate getting fit and stronger for myself. And when you actually accept yourself and accept your real goals and your real heart's desires, whatever the smallest little step you take, you begin to be grateful for even doing that. Because even taking a small step puts you that much further than you were before. And when you get to the point of the self-improvement journey, where the journey is just consistent, instead of trying to reach this ideal, it's just, or reach this amount of days doing this, or reach this, you know, unattainable lifestyle, reach a lifestyle where I'm completely cut off from everything. No, you're just progressively becoming who you want to be instead of running from the person you don't want to be. No, When you focus on the person you don't want to be, which you inadvertently do by running away from it, you just establish how steady that identity is in you. Instead, just accept who you are right now and just start to evolve, take little building blocks, take little steps, build up that mountain little by little, and you'll be looking behind you and you'll realize, damn, I done built a whole mountain of success and I wasn't even noticing it. I earnestly was just trying to be better than I was the day before. And that's how you really self-improve. So don't let a bunch of, people who just want your attention and money first and foremost, because this is a business. Content creation is a business. Don't be so ready to listen to people who just want your money and your attention, because they probably don't have your best interest. And extremes aren't in your best interest. Moderation is. A new identity isn't in your best interest. Accepting who you really are first is what you really need. Then you'll naturally want to improve. Thank you, and good night.